Yo, welcome to the Monthly Reload podcast. Today, we're going to talk about nostalgia. As you may remember from our introduction, I mentioned that we'll be going over something like that. Uh, so I have two guys here with me today. I have AlphaX, also known as Red. Introduce yourself to the listeners, Red.
Hello, lads. Hey, everyone. My name is AlphaX. Many people in the real world knows me as Red. I'm a content creator streamer for EMGG. I'm also good friends with these two. Worked with them a lot. In terms of interest in games, like I'm a fighting game enthusiast. I like fighting games, but mainly just Super Smash Brothers, which is a terrible choice for a fighting game. But hey, man, well, it is what it is, you know. All right.
Alright, now we got old Braulio. Y'all remember him from introduction. Old Ray Blast.
Yo. Well, yeah, I was here during the introduction, so I guess you already kind of know me. I kind of just play everything and anything, so long as it's not boring, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You know, just those type of games.
Yep. So during this episode, we're going to go over basically our experiences with like games we used to enjoy when we were younger, and how we look at those games today, especially like me. I was a really big RuneScape guy. There's a modern RuneScape and there's an old school RuneScape. Of course, a lot of people may already know there's an old school RuneScape. But as we grow and everything, people that really wanting to leave in comments, wanting to us to talk more about nostalgia games and everything, like if they want us to send any information of what they like, feel free to do so. We have our email in our Anchor bio, and it should pop up on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So
We do indeed.
So I wanted to ask you, what was y'all's first consoles y'all's played on?
Damn, that's a good question. I think mine was the PlayStation 1, and I had it at like 6. No, maybe younger actually. I think it was like between 3 to 4, maybe 5. Like it was something around that time. And first game that I like ever fell in love with on that console was, I think, either Final Fantasy 7 or it had to be Tekken 3. Either one of those two. So yeah.
Okay.
First time I picked up a controller and was like, I'll play these. And I had it for like a good couple of years. I had it till like I think late 2012, early 2013, and then we ended up getting rid of the thing, which is super disappointing. I don't know why we got rid of it, but
I've been there. I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, no, it just sucks, right? Like, super cool console, and now I'm just kind of regretting it. But hey, who knows? We'll see what happens in the future.
Yeah, that's what me and my little brother, we had. Me especially, I started. PS1 was also my first console. I actually just bought one for somebody just for kind of giggles.
Oh, sweet.
And I got some of the Final Fantasy games and stuff with it too.
Nice.
And it was only like $200 with that, and like a lot of controllers and a lot of games. It wasn't too bad of a price, but yeah, I've been there. We had a PS2 and we had a lot of games with it. And I did the same thing with the Xbox 360 when we got the Xbox One. We ended up selling it and everything just to get more games on our new platform. And looking back on it, I should have listened to my mom when she said, "You're gonna regret this one day trying to sell these." Because the thing is like I was trying to get more money just to get at games, and I just had like lots of games. Like I used to, when I had a 360, I used to go travel between my mom's and dad's. I had a separate bag just for games itself, like just the cases, and it filled up an entire bag and had the console in it, and that was it.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I used to do that between mine and my grandma's house. So we sometimes used to take a PlayStation 1 there, because that was like the only console we had for a couple good years. So like, if we got bored, me and my brother would just take it. We'd just go there and we just play some games. It was a good time. But I you know, like you said before, you're gonna, like your mom says, you're gonna regret it. Like, I'm still thinking about that at the back of my mind today, and like I'm still holding on to some of my older consoles because I don't want to let go of them. I might regret it later on in the future. You never know.
Yeah. So my PS1, just like me and you, were our first console. My first game, when I think about it, would be Driver 1. I was playing it late at night with my dad one time, and he let me take over. Other games was NASCAR. I was actually real deep into that, especially I think it was either NASCAR Thunder or Royal Thunder. It was basically kind of like a you just race and you had like all these abilities, kind of like NASCAR's own version of Mario Kart in a sense, and it's a pretty fun game.
Yeah.
What about you, Braulio?
Well,
What was your first console?
weirdly enough, I had a PS2 before I got a PS1, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was I remember correctly. It's such a long time ago now because I don't know, I kind of feel old. But it was, I think the first game I ever had on it was like some sort of Marvel superhero game. I can't even remember correctly. I think it was like from the Incredible Hulk or something. And besides that, I just remember like playing lots of racing games because like my uncles and stuff would like come over and like we would all like have multiple controllers and we would just like race each other on that.
Yeah. That was definitely a big thing back in the day, was the racing games.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, yeah, 100%. Like, it's a huge vibe, right? Like, just to play with your cousins or your uncle when they come over and just absolutely destroy them at your favorite game. Great feeling, man. It's a good feeling.
Great feeling. We even had like those like steering wheels and stuff.
Oh, dude.
I think I might still have it somewhere.
If you find it, just hold on to that. Like, that's a gem.
Mm-hmm. I tried looking up the prices of steering wheels and stuff like a couple months ago, and I didn't realize how expensive they were. Like, so it
they gotta be.
I can definitely see where Rev said it'll be expensive because just put my input there. I used to play a lot of Guitar Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Me, my sister, and my little brother and our cousins, and trying to find a guitar for the PS2 is heavily expensive right now, and it's almost rare.
I mean, I can imagine, to be honest. Like, game's super old, right?
Mm-hmm. Like a decade or so.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing recent, like, I don't know if they still do Rock Band. There's Rocksmith, but Rocksmith, you actually use a guitar. Like, you just get a cable and you just plug it up into your PC or console, and it's an actual guitar, basically, like, that you use to learn and stuff.
Yeah. Huh.
Yep. Driver Series was definitely one of my big time favorite franchises. The only other big one for PlayStation 1 would have been Crash Bandicoot.
Of course. Yeah.
Weirdly enough, I never played a Crash. Wait, no, let me scratch that. I played a Crash Bandicoot. I didn't play the originals though. I played like those spin-offs or something.
I played one. My favorite one was Wrath of Cortex, which didn't really get remastered, but one of the other ones that did get remastered. I can't remember which one it was, but it definitely was the one where you had the female jet skiing, and I definitely remember like going through like facing the wizards and the trolls and everything. I definitely know that one got remastered for sure, and that was my very first Crash. Wrath of Cortex, I had more memories with because it had like a lot of different worlds and stuff.
Wasn't that like a time one? No,
yeah,
that was like a time game, right?
Yeah, it was basically like a time thing. It was like time travel and stuff. Like you were the lobby or home, whichever you like to call it, was basically like you go through these different portals through time and stuff. And one of my favorite things about it was also the boss fights, because there was like 4 areas, like, so you had these 4 little areas, and each one had different, like, 5 different portals you could go to. And one of the very first ones was was snow, and you had all these penguins and stuff. And when you get to the end, you go against fire. I can't remember. Was playing on my emulator the other day, but I cannot remember who they were. But it's like the antagonist, like the evil mask guy, had like spawned up these other masks, if I'm not mistaken. And it was like there was fire, water, air, and like some other stuff like that.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know because I haven't played it. I mean, the most I think in terms of memory with an original Crash Bandicoot game was like my cousin had like one of those Sony PSP kind of phones. You know those ones that have like
Yes.
PSP games,
Like,
I had
one.
like my cousin had one of those, right? And I used to play like I think I used to play a Crash game. I'm not sure which one it was, but I used to play one of those, and I played like a whole bunch of games on that thing. Like that thing had like so many different games, and it's weird how that thing worked. It was like super sick, and I kind of want one like even now. It's like, why not, you know?
Mhm.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about because they're called a Sony Xperia. Me and my little
That's
brother had one. It was basically our very first touchscreen. Mine didn't. I got it basically my first year of high school, and it didn't last too long, sadly.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Speaking of other games, I know we covered pretty much some racing games. Driver was a very big one. I love Driver 3. Another big franchise for me was Killzone. I never really got to play 2. I did get to play 3 later in my childhood, but 1 was like a big time, especially like Battlefield, which is basically instant action. Basically, you get to set up boss difficulty and your maps and everything, and it was so dope playing that. And the campaign, I pretty much adored as well. Killzone. I actually watched a video about that. They said Killzone was like one of the only games out there that didn't really have any soundtrack as you went battling and stuff. And I was playing it again, and it had that too.
Gotcha.
I mean, well, I don't know. Like in racing games, for me, the only like games that I probably had like fun memories of were like Mario Kart Wii.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was probably the game that I had the most like fun with growing up because we had a Wii. Oh, I still have it. Like we had a Wii when we were like growing up. That was like our main console for like years until we got the PS4. So it was like Mario Kart would be one of the go-to games that we play. So I mean, that's probably just one of the best racing games I've ever played. Actually, one of the only racing games I've ever played.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another big game franchise for me, especially the first one, Mercenaries Playground of Destruction. That was a really big one for me. That used to be a lot of people's basic. It was like one of the only games, even today, that you can actually have destructible environments in. Sadly for me, I never until my first year in the military that I never got to really experience any of the Star Wars games, the classic ones.
I mean, yeah, because you're busy, right?
No, I just never really was invested in Star Wars when I was in a younger age, and like even GTA games, my parents were strictly on me about that. They would let me play. They would let me play Scarface, Killzone, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, Punisher, and some other games, but they wouldn't let me touch GTA.
Did you ever play the complete saga Lego?
No, I never. See, that was my little brother. My little brother was heavily that on the PSP, but I never got into Legos.
Like the full Lego Star Wars saga, dude.
Yeah,
we had
the
that
complete
on
saga.
we had that on Wii. Like I remember playing that. We finished it, and like it felt so good when we finished it.
It was probably one of my, if not my most favorite game playing on the Wii.
Oh, dude, 100%. Agreed. Like it was so fun. It was really good.
They were fun. I mean,
Go ahead.
I think I guess for me, my biggest game that I have the most nostalgia with, ironically enough, I still kind of play it, like, recently, would probably have to be, I guess, Minecraft, I guess you could say. Just because of how long I've been playing it for a while now.
Oh, Minecraft. See, I only had the Pocket Edition.
Yeah.
So I didn't even have, like, any idea about...
I never got to touch it until they made the Xbox 360 edition, and I definitely know I put weeks into that game.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it was like 2 updates behind PC and stuff, I was like weeks behind that game. I played a little, like when we came to the Xbox, I started playing it again for a good while, but then it's like ever since like Microsoft took over, I just ain't really played it much.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. I mean, it's just for me. I don't
Yeah.
know. It started from Pocket. Okay, Minecraft is probably like the game I bought the most, weirdly enough, on like different systems. But I just went from Pocket to, I guess, PC, because that was when I got my PC around the time. And when a console, I don't know. I just it's the type of game that just kind of always stayed with me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Minecraft, I definitely like. I got like both versions of download on my PC right now, and they're both on my taskbar, the Java and the Windows edition, and they're both on my SSD right now, ready to go whenever. I just never really really hop on them and play, even though technically I should. But did any of y'all ever get to play SOCOM?
I did not know.
I don't know what that is.
I don't think I did.
So SOCOM, they have a game on PlayStation 3. It's like SOCOM 4, but so basically, imagine you're a special ops. You got a team of 4 people and stuff, and you're doing like these missions and everything. And like you're basically a 4-man team going against like armies and stuff. So you have these big go map. I have SOCOM 3 actually on my emulator. I played the SOCOM 2, I played SOCOM 3 a lot, and I played SOCOM Combined Assault. I used to like adore SOCOM games. I mean, back when I was a kid, I used to be like adore the military a lot. But like, yeah. SOCOM was basically you get to choose and customize your own loadout, bring whatever kit if you want extra armor, grenades, stuff like that. It was a pretty fun little game franchise back in the day. There was supposed to be a revival, but there was only rumors. I mean, there's so many games we know that we used to play that we just hope for revivals of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of military, I've been trying to search for this one game for like the longest time, and it's like this game I remember playing on the PS2. It's so like it's so vague now. It kind of just feels like a fever dream. So it was essentially like you could command like a set of like a 2 squads or something, and like a RTS, not RTS, like a round based thing, right?
Yeah.
And it was like 3D. I know this is super vague. It was like 3D, and you could like go around like a military base, and it was like a group of 4, well, total 8, and you had to overcome enemies or whatnot. I don't know. It's always been at the back of my head, and it's a game I've been trying to find again and again, but I just haven't been able to. In case any of you guys know what it is.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I can't really say I was too big in RTS. There was only one game, and I already forgot the name of it. I had the name of it, but it was military, but it was like an actual real-time strategy. You basically had like your selection of helicopters, tanks, and everything, and you had to go against certain units and stuff. Definitely I will say one. It's on Steam right now, actually, and it's like a little roguelike dungeon crawler. It's like one of the very first popular ones. It's called Fate.
Fate.
Yeah, Fate was. And the funny thing about that is, Fate basically, it's like I hopped on it, and I just remember seeing the mimic chest, like you just see all the teeth in the mouth and everything, and like the dialogue and everything from the game. When I just hopped on it again, it just felt like I just played this game yesterday almost, because it was all too familiar. One of the big real big things about Fate as well is it had like lots of levels. So like you would start out, you have like spiders and some goblins here and there. Then as soon as you get like later, you start having like these Lovecraftian type creatures. You get like dragons. You get like knights, wizards, and stuff. So you could almost say it was like Diablo in a sense. Like when you get to like the future levels.
Yeah. I mean, I've never been like super big into military games, but Yeah.
Oh, this one wasn't military. This was just like a dungeon crawler.
All right. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, I was just saying. Yeah, the one interesting thing about this game was you either had a choice of selecting your pet. You get to choose a dog or a cat, and they would go with you during the whole dungeon experience too.
Nice.
Very nice. Like a little companion. That's sick.
So, what's you gotta do know that there's on Amazon even right now you can buy some emulators. I have you can buy them in you can buy they're literally shaped like Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advances, PSP, PS Vitas, and they'll have like 500 to 2,000 games on them. They mostly go off NES games, Game Boy Advance games, and stuff like that.
I mean, I've seen those kinds of things. Aren't those things like super misleading?
No. So, only thing misleading about that is you'll have copies, and some of the games are kind of hacked. Like you'll have no worries of information being stolen, stuff like that. It's just like you'll have your own like little versions of games that seem appear hacked. Or
no, I'm not saying that. I'm like saying, so you know those like rip-off consoles that have like absolutely like ripped off games that are like.
No. These are different. Yeah, no. These are different. These are the ones I'm talking about are actually legit. Like I could literally pop up right now and play Pokemon Fire Red or Leaf Green or the one with Pikachu and stuff like that, and then I can play the next generation and the next generation. And then they'll have Dragon Ball, they'll have the edit. They'll basically have like a lot of games from just the Game Boy series and SNES series and other consoles like that.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
What's did any of y'all ever play the classic Medal of Honor / Call of Duty games?
Not really.
I did not. My parents hated the idea of like first-person shooters like growing up, so I never really got to play any FPS until like I was maybe 13, 14. But even then, like I never really got into them too much because
one of my favorite Medal of Honor games would be Medal of Honor Frontline. I still remember, it took me years technically to get past the first mission because my comprehension level was kind of low at the time. So I'm basically just sitting there on the D-Day beach for hours just shooting at the bunkers. And then eventually I found out, I was like, oh, if I do this and I do this, blow a hole in the fence, and then we're charging, now we're in the bunkers. And then I ended up playing the story when I was a little older. Medal of Honor Frontline was definitely a very good game, way ahead of its time in my opinion. But I mean, we were a little young. What's a game from like, let's say, 3DS, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3? Like, what's a game like in y'all's early states of those? Because I definitely know I got some.
I got like hella when we're talking about the 3DS specifically. Yeah.
What would be a good game that just comes to mind for you?
Like at first, definitely like has to be probably, what is it called? I'm trying to remember it. I think Sonic Generations for the 3DS was pretty decent. Like I had that for a while. I remember also playing a lot of Street Fighter, like back when that was on the 3DS. But like the thing is with that version of the game was the game was so weird. Like it had like at the bottom screen, instead of like actually manually doing supers and stuff, like you had 4 different like touchpads to do supers with, and that was like super cheesy. So you could like cheese your way out of like online matches, and I'm pretty sure like everyone used to do that. So eventually it got annoying, and I kind of just sold it in the end. But yeah, another game. one that's like super underrated, and like I know not a lot of people have heard about it before. And like I recently just changed my profile picture to one of the characters from the game. It's called Rhythm Thief. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. Like so it's set in Paris, and it's a super like super sick game. It's just a rhythm game, but like follows the journey of this young kid trying to find his father, and he's basically just a phantom thief. And it's like it's like super charming. Like the word equality kind of just stands, and like the music is just a banger as well. Like it just bangs. So yeah,
Oh yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I never really got to have a 3DS. I remember I asked for one because I wanted to play the new Pokemon games and stuff, but I mostly stuck with PS2 until I was at least 12 years old, and then I eventually got an Xbox 360. But luckily, I did get a good bit of games with it, and my little brother got a PS3, so we both got to share some memories with some exclusives.
Oh. Yeah. So Sonic games.
I remember PlayStation never had Minecraft at all.
It didn't. No,
Not until more recently.
It wasn't until Minecraft was strictly on Xbox and everything else. It wasn't until like I think it's like 2014 or something. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
maybe yeah, it could have been sooner, could have been later before Minecraft actually came to PlayStation.
Yeah.
Speaking of before we did get I got my 360 and PlayStation 3, I used to go over my cousins and they already had it, like the PlayStation 3 and a lot of new games. So I used to always used to play Battlefield 1943, like every time after school. I would always hope that my parents wasn't picking us up immediately, so I would go down to their house and everything, and then I would start playing that. I did get to have pleasure playing Battlefield Backup 2 beta when it was live. I never officially got to play the actual game, but I had lots of fun on the beta. Another game series I did get to enjoy really, really well was Resistance. Sadly, the only thing about Resistance, you have to buy their physical copies in order to play it, or you get PS Plus and play Resistance 3, and that's the only one. Sadly. Any of y'all ever play Gun? Classic. Basic, a little classic Red Dead Redemption type game.
Oh, I don't. Probably not. No, I've never heard of it. I'm gonna be honest. I ain't never heard of it.
I used to play like lots and lots of games. Gun was definitely one of my big time favorites.
Yeah. Sounds good. So it's like Red Dead.
Wouldn't necessarily like it's open world and everything. Story's pretty good, but it's mostly linear in a sense.
Yeah.
I still remember going to the towns and blowing people up and stuff. Daniel played Resident Evil games when they were released back in the day.
Oh, I had Resident. I don't remember which one it was on the PS1 because this was years ago. But I did have a Resident Evil game on PS1, and I did play a bit of it. But then again, I was too young to play at the time. My dad was like, "Nah," so I was like, "All right, okay, fine." So
yeah. Luckily got
ever able to either.
I got to play Resident Evil 4 trade-in with one of my cousins. It was definitely a very neat experience. I still even if I want to still try to play it, just the village, dealing with the village itself was just, oh my god, it was frightening. And I just remember I had those memories of just sitting there with the controller just shaking because I'm in the house and they're all coming from all sides, and then you got to hear the guy with the chainsaw coming, and it's just like, ugh. Definitely some frightening memories there. Yeah, I know for a lot of people, it's either the first one or the second one with the zombie pop-up face that frightened a lot of people. I'm pretty sure it was the second one that it had that Well, well, for now, we're going to have our little ad break, so we'll conclude talks. But when we get back, we will talk more and more about games. We'll go over our memories and more of our experiences. We appreciate y'all listening, so please just enjoy the ad break.
And welcome back from our little ad break right there. And we'll just continue on our little nostalgia trip. And I want to start it off with a very fond memory I have growing up. So, unlike, I guess, most people, I kind of grew up more playing on the, really bad laptop, I guess. And I
Yeah,
remember
same.
this, this one game in particular. Well, actually 2 games, but I'll talk about this one a bit more, because I remember I played this longer. My one game in particular was, I don't know if you guys heard this, it's kind of a small studio, kind of small game, you know? It's called Wizard 101.
Hey,
Hey,
good old Wizard 101, let's go.
Cool. And like, it's kind of crazy, because I actually got into this because a friend of mine introduced me to it. And I can't, I'm pretty sure you have seen those ads on like the TV and whatnot of like join the spiral or like become a wizard or something, right?
Yeah.
And like those caught my attention, but I was always like so scared to actually sign up because I was also so scared of viruses or whatever. But that when my friend taught me, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I can actually do this now. So, have you guys ever played Wizard 101?
I got to play it a good bit. I got to like some very dark area past one of the Storm Titans, and that was about it for me.
Gotcha.
I like back as a kid never really appreciated MMOs as much as I do now, because like I was really stupid like back then. But I played a little bit and was like, I know I kind of just stumbled upon it because it was like a web ad on like a flash browsing thing. It was on Newgrounds, or it was either on Miniclip or something like that. And like it came up on the side, and I was like, yo, this looks kind of sick. So I was like, all right, let me give it a shot. And I did, and I like did for a bit. And I was like, I got no patience, so I just went back to playing Flash games. But no, if I could, I'd probably play it now. I think it does look fun.
I played it until like, so they have like these worlds, right? I played it into like the very last, second to last world.
If they're still like supporting the game, I'm pretty.
Last I checked, they were still supporting it.
Because if they still are, then that's surprising. Like a couple years on.
They actually kind of updated the guarding area graphically too. I was kind of surprised going in.
Oh.
They have like this toggle feature too.
I did not know that.
Like old and new graphics.
Kind of like Halo 2 Anniversary.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Okay. Yeah.
But, okay, that's pretty dope.
But no, like I mean, I'll probably might do a stream like just revisiting my old account. But I got to like around like level 50 or 60. I was a life wizard, so like the healing type. I remember playing this game solely to get this one spell called like Forest Lord or something, which is like an AoE like super heart attack, which is, for a life wizard whose sole purpose is kind of just healing and buffing. That was something.
Yeah, I remember one of the big things, and I remember the advertisements on TV for it. It's what put me into it was the islands, like the kind of like the citadels and stuff, floating islands you get to have as homes. And I remember going against one boss just to get like towers and stuff to put around.
Oh yeah, grinding all those for those decorations and stuff.
Grinding out.
So the one big thing about like those MMOs was I never got to really pay for the premium or subscription, so I always kept to the free side of stuff.
Yeah.
I definitely.
See, I just can never have the patience to grind out so much in an MMO, man. I don't know, maybe just me, but I had that like I can't sit too long at an MMORPG and just be like, oh yeah,
like
grind at it. That's why I don't like games like Genshin Impact as much. But
Oof.
you know, we're here. But then again, that game is gacha though.
It is a gacha, and gacha just sucks their time.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess it was games like Wizard 101 that really made me develop my obsession with gacha games nowadays.
That's
Yeah.
fair, man.
So,
I'm scared I'll fall down the rabbit hole.
It's a rabbit hole that you might never come out of.
See, that's my only worry. I don't want that though. Alright, well,
It's a good rabbit
maybe
hole. Come down
I
here.
say that. If I say that, you never know. I could probably get dragged in and be like, "Oh, I don't want to come back out now." Yeah, we'll see what happens in the future, man. I don't know.
So speaking of MMOs and nostalgia, did y'all ever play a lot of Cartoon Network games
I
back in the day?
did, yeah.
Whenever
Yeah.
did y'all
Played a lot
ever
of it in like, school.
play Fusion Fall?
Is
I'm
it-
trying to remember.
Was it the like MMO one?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was the MMO where they're all grown up and stuff.
I think
Yeah,
I
yeah,
tried,
yeah,
but
yeah,
my
yeah.
PC was terrible.
It was. I tried it for a bit, and I was like, okay.
I actually enjoyed the game. I heard there was like a private server right now with it, but I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I never got that premium, so I was always on the power level 4 for like just still going to play and stuff and
Mhm.
everything.
Yeah.
And that was about it. I just remember when they finally made it all free, I was actually able to do the time travel thing, go back in time and everything, and then being able to finally explore everything. The game like for grinding and everything, it was pretty fun. Story was a bit but it was definitely nice, neat little universe they had.
Mm-hmm.
They had like a Cartoon Network fighting game. I remember like they had something.
We're talking
Oh, I'm
about
trying to find it.
TKO or something like that.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure though.
My favorite games, especially the browser games, were Ed and Eddie's one. They even had a fighting one for Ed and Eddie from that one episode where
Really?
they had one for a fighting ring, and it was pretty funny. And like when you get your butt kicked by one of the cankers, the scene and everything was pretty funny.
Dude, screw.
Did y'all? Okay, I know y'all mentioned y'all didn't play the Lego games as much, but there was this Lego MMO called Lego Universe. Did any of y'all ever play that?
I heard
Lego
of it, but never
Universe.
got.
No, I don't think so. I've heard of Dimensions, but I ain't heard of the Universe.
It was probably that was the other game I was mentioning, the other MMO I used to play.
Was it good?
I mean, okay, I was like young, so I guess to me it was good. But I mean, it was fun. It was really fun. I remember I made a good amount of friends. It was like it was a lot of things. It was like action RPG and like because it was Lego, they also had racing and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
And you could like go back and build your own base, like block by block or whatever. It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Only
Okay.
thing, yeah, it was shut down a while ago. So now there's just videos of YouTube and whatnot.
So
Yeah.
go ahead, Red. I'll let you go first.
I was like, yeah, that's probably like how it is with most games. We try to find it, we like hold out for hope, thinking it's still alive, and then we're like,
Mm-hmm.
there's only just YouTube videos until somebody does something like Club Penguin Rewritten.
Oh, that's right.
So this is going to hit, like, for some listeners, this may go like real back in the day type like nostalgia. Dead Frontier, back when it was top down.
Yo.
Back when they first announced their MMO and everything, and when they were only browser games. Like they even had visual novel games that were like really, really fun. That was definitely. They also have a Dead Frontier 2 on Steam, by the way, for free, and it's basically a third person.
Dead Frontier 2.
Yep.
Might take a look at that right now.
Yep.
I might think about that too.
When the Dead Frontier 2 has 3 towns from last I saw as well. Another big thing I missed about Dead Frontier, like not only was it top down, you actually was able to search everything. They kind like later in the game when they made it 3D, they took it away. So, but I still remember back in the day when you had like the zombie hordes attacking the base, and all the players had to hold back their horde.
Yeah.
I just still remember like being outside the gates itself. You'd be having like this huge horde, and you'd just be swarmed and everything. But one of the big things about Dead Frontier was the economy was really bad. So like you had to like really grind and get lucky and not die at all to maintain and be able to get a lot of stuff, because a lot of like to get good stuff you had to burn a lot of money, and getting money was not easy.
Yeah.
I always suck at games where where like the economy is a big focus, because I feel like I can never actually be efficient in that type of stuff.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like if like that's how I kind of like Destiny now is like. Some people like they don't have the trading, but then again, if you look at it, a lot of people would abuse it. I mean, I'm a very big RuneScape guy, and RuneScape 3 still deals with the remnants of that, because in old school RuneScape they fixed it, because a lot of stuff they were selling for billions of coin, they made it to where like everybody got it. So like you can play old school RuneScape right now and be able to get like Santa hats. Like all you gotta do is do one Christmas event, and you'll get everything they had for like the past 20 years.
Oh my. Yeah, I heard like there's stories and like I guess you could call them conspiracy theories about like scamming people on RuneScape for like actual money or something. It's like a rabbit hole.
Speaking of which, so on old school RuneScape, and this has kind of been a thing for like, especially back when it was released, Dual Arena. It's also nicknamed the San Casino. There's an actual like Discord servers for everything about people making like actual lots of money in real life. Because they're scamming people in the San Casino. And there was a guy on Twitter that made it, and he posted about it, the whole Discord server and everything. And these people were telling him they were going to send hitmen after him and everything because of it. Yeah, I mean that's the thing about some MMOs, so people take it too serious now, and they do some stuff like that. I mean, you gotta think of CS:GO, their new market, like their little market back then.
CS:GO Lotto.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that's the thing with like when a lot of games come out today, is like a lot of people like that will go back to them. And take advantage of the economy and stuff, especially games like that.
I kind of agree with that actually, because like isn't it free now?
Which one?
CS:GO? Yeah.
CS:GO isn't it like free?
It's
yeah,
free
CS:GO's free.
It still has like that premium membership matchmaking thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not all stuff is available to you either. Another thing. Here's another game I used to enjoy a lot. CS2D, Counter-Strike 2D.
Counter-Strike 2D, that's a thing?
That was an actual thing.
That was a thing.
That was an actual thing back in the day, and that's where like the whole servers and everything. Because I remember that's where a lot of games in there was what it went to Gmod, where Gary's mod is today. Terrorist Town, Zombie Survival, and stuff like that. No, CS2D was an actual thing. They actually just brought it to Steam, because I used to. I'll send you a link right now about it. I remember playing this baby back all the time back in the day.
It's still up.
And, last I checked. It's possibly
still on. Damn, I didn't even know this was a thing. CS:GO in 2D from Bud's Eye View.
So right now, so this used to have thousands of players. There's only 24 players on it right now. But that was like the whole market thing started with this game because that's when the built-in map editor, different game modes, zombies, and everything's got real big too.
Yeah.
It's also free, so like people can technically still go make their own thing and everything. Making the maps ain't too hard either.
Yeah.
So what's one game y'all would say from like 360, PlayStation 3 days? Like, it's not too old, but it's not that recent that a lot of people can forget about it and pass by. What's some games that y'all think of? Like, that y'all personally enjoyed?
Ooh.
That's kind of
no.
hard. That's a hard question because I don't know.
Like, I'll give some examples. Mercenaries 2 had some popularity and stuff, but I don't think Mercenaries 2 touched the Saboteur, which was made by the same developers. Saboteur was a very fun game, and it was one of the games I was hoping they put on not crossplay, but backwards compatible for Xbox, because it's not every day you have these like open world games where you get to go kill a bunch of Nazis and stuff. And this wasn't just like, you know, your typical, oh, these are just infantry. If you get to certain high levels, the Nazi army was sending airships, planes, and tanks after you, even death squads. Like, I actually just bought it on PlayStation 3 for like $3 from GameStop because I was like, I have a PlayStation 3, might as well play it. And the story was really good too, and it's like, and the map was huge. It's basically set over the whole map of Paris. But Saboteur, that's not even gold. That's like a straight like diamond. That game was fun. So speaking of, you know, I know we're all big Minecraft guys, but there's always one survival craft game I will always put over Minecraft. Always and every day. Pathfinder Z.
I never played it.
Any y'all ever heard that game?
No, I haven't.
It was $1.
I don't think so.
It was a $1 on 360 indie shop. I mean, all indie games were $1 anyway. This game was basically had like we used to call them LeBron James zombies because they ran so fast and jumped so high, and so, you know, it kind of has the same aspects of Minecraft, but it was kind of like every map wasn't like randomly generated. Kind of was, but really wasn't. It was an infinite world, always. But you always had deep places to go to. Like, this game actually had like a whole entire region dedicated to just mountains, whole region of just flat desert, a whole region of just ice-capped mountains, and then you start into basically, you know, woodlands, and then as soon as you keep progressing, it's hills. Another big thing is you get to after the ice, you go to these, what we used to call Resource Mountain, because basically it had like every single type of resource in the game, and you could just build your base there and stay there and be able to craft guns, C4, TNT, and everything just right then and there. The only issue would be it would have been wood, and you would have had to go back to the start. But the thing about this game, you could always teleport to the start or to other players with ease. And, so when me and my buddies used to play this game a lot, it wasn't just zombies and dragons. They eventually added skeletons and then like these sometimes these little mini bosses, and they started adding these bosses in hell. Like, they're like, if you actually dig deep enough, you would end up in the underworld.
The damn underworld, guys. Crazy.
Yeah, if you actually dig deep enough, you would have to be careful, because if you could fall in lava, you could fall. You could basically just fall down to where it's like it's so far down that it could kill you and everything. Like, you could jump high and everything is still in this game, but you still have to worry about fall damage. And then one thing about the underworld was zombies were constantly spawning a lot.
Damn it. that's just a pain, right? Like, surely it's gonna be a pain. Like, imagine the amount of zombies that just have to constantly keep on spawning. Like, and you have to like be on your toes, like constantly.
Yeah, this was the game you had to be on your toes constantly.
Oh no.
They added creative, and then they added something else. There was one thing you had to worry about: endurance mode. Endurance mode was basically the hard mode, and that's where you get your achievements and some other stuff. They last update I saw from them, they added aliens. Basically, you had these creators come in.
Aliens.
And they had you had creators, and then you could start making lasers and alien stuff and everything.
Bruh.
Castlemont, I still got YouTube. We still have YouTube videos of this game. Like, here, I'll send y'all a thing real quick. But this game was game was definitely the thing back.
Let me take a look at this real quick. Colossal Miner. All right, let me have a look. Colossal Miner Z. My bad. All right.
Oh yeah. Oh,
whoa, bro! Look how dark this looks.
Yep. Yeah. No, this game.
It's a cross between Minecraft and World War Z.
Basically, World War Z and Minecraft. But this came out in 2011, so this came out almost 9 years ago.
Dude, the character models look ridiculously scary.
Yeah, and the building was pretty good too. But yeah, it's definitely was really nice to build own stuff. Like, we used to build big fortresses, and everything. And also, I would also say this game had good soundtrack for $4 game. $1 it's $4 on Steam, $1 at the time on 360. It had really good soundtrack too.
Oh, fair enough.
Kind of reminds me of this one game called 7 Days to Die. I don't know if you guys seen it.
Basically, imagine 7 Days to Die with dragons and demons and aliens. That's basically what you get, but not as a big crafting system though. But a lot of people did enjoy this back in the day. It was a really fun game.
Yeah, that's sick.
Ooh, was any a big Sims fan? Sims?
Mm-hmm.
I could never get my hands on the game. Wasn't there a free version at one point? I didn't.
It was free on mobile. That was about it. But
I
had to pay.
Yeah. I never really got my hands on Sims at any time because I thought it was cool, but I kind of just grew out of the idea of even liking it. I was looks pretty boring. And even to this day, it's being promoted, right? They're still promoting. I see ads for it everywhere. This game's still a huge deal.
Sims 4 is $4 on Steam right now.
I think it actually went out for free at one point on Origin. If you had it.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I remember a bunch of people went and were like, "Oh yeah, now I got Sims." And I'm like, right, hey, well, I mean, I was never a huge Sims fan.
Yeah, Sims. So the Xbox 360 version and PC version were very different. 360, in my opinion, probably had the better version because it had karma, and if you used the cheats and everything, you could basically cause your own little house to have constant hailstorms.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
just using cheat codes that given to you, or
you basically just go to the menu, type something on controller, a certain pattern, and then you have the little llama come out. So you basically can give yourself as much money as you wanted and stuff.
Yeah.
One of the big things I used to do was get a lot of people in the house and take away the door, and then just send a hailstorm, and then just watch the house burn down. Well, I mean, so I'm just looking through my list to see what other games.
I'm trying to think about what kind of games. I was super heavy into all the old Sonic titles because Sonic was my childhood, right? Like that.
Yeah.
Those are the only games that I play like during that time. And, like on the Wii, there were like a bunch of them. And, like I think my main childhood, right, was the mainline Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games titles.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are my favorite games of all time. Just because of like how I don't know, like they were just fun, like super cool little mini games, and just it was all sports themed, and it was like super sick. It's like a dream team up, and it was like, yeah, I like this.
Okay. Now, now I'm definitely going to hit home for me. Saints Row. No, I'm not talking about.
Ooh.
I'm not talking about 3, 4. None of those. I'm talking 1 and 2, where it was an actual like a gangster simulator. Speaking of which, there is a 50 Cent game they kind of spun off of too. But yeah, Saint Rose 1 and 2 was literally the meta back then. It was so popular.
Yeah.
I just remember like because like it was like this game was actually I remember because them and Rockstar were actually battling out which game was better. And for a while it was Saints Row. A lot of people dig Saints Row more because GTA 4 for some people is kind of a letdown. The game's still good, but kind of a letdown. Like if you wanted an open world feel, because it was never touch San Andreas at all. And that was the thing with 5 too, is after you beat the story, the world just seemed kind of empty. And San Andreas, San Andreas was just like a very fun game, and a lot of people still play it because like 4 or 5 for GTA was not as good, but 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think pretty sure a lot of people do still say that San Andreas was probably the best title in the entire series. I hear that a lot. I think from some people.
I still hear it a lot too.
Yeah, like I can see why too. Like it's a good game. 5 didn't really hit hard for me. I played a little bit of it and I have it on PC. But I think San Andreas is just better.
Yeah, San Andreas is way better. Way better.
But Rockstar, give us GTA 6 already. Been making people wait too long for this.
No, they just released a new DLC.
Heist,
yeah, a heist.
Yeah.
It's gonna be few more console generations before they come out with 6.
Yeah,
probably. Like they re-released it for the PlayStation 5, right? Like it's pretty crazy. Not in a good way though.
Well, that's the thing. GTA 5 is still one of the most played games today. Like, don't get me like I still enjoyed it, like online and everything. And we ever got people we could like. I know me and my buddies, because back on the Xbox One days, we would always hop on there and do like some of the side events and some of the missions. We wouldn't do heists and everything, but we do the arena stuff. Not the new one. We ain't got to try that out yet, but like the tricks and stuff. Like I cannot remember this to save my life what the names were, but Sumo was one. Like you're on a rooftop with these vehicles and you push each other off. There's one where you go down this big ramp and you get the car with the parachute and you have to land on the spot. And there's one little mode where you run down, but you have no brakes at all. So, and you're trying to stop at 5, and 5 was literally like literally so small that you think you may have it, but then you could like fall off, and then you have to worry about people still coming up behind you because they came in fast. They could hit you and hit you off, and then guess what? You don't get no points.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, GTA 5, like, I still remember when it released, and there really wasn't much to do, not even single player, and it's still sad even in single player don't have much to do. Because like that was GTA's biggest fan base was the single player. It wasn't really multiplayer, it was mostly single player.
Yeah.
Well, I mean we got a very long talks about all these games. I mean I could go on more and more to be honest, but
yeah.
We'll start talking more about what's going on with the whole reload. You won't get anything to say, old Braulio?
Well, you know, as per introduction, we did mention there's gonna be a lot of new stuff coming in, and a lot of stuff will be changing here soon. And with the new year coming in, we've thought it'd be a good time to have one of our more bigger announcements here soon. So I guess without further ado, I, Braulio, also known as Ray Blast, am honored to say that Team Reload will have a full rebrand and a full change in our focus and stuff. We'll still be having our streaming support on, but from now on, we want to announce that Team Reload will become Reload Entertainment Studios.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Huge W. Let's go.
Yep. So Reload Entertainment Studios, you heard it from old Braulio himself. We will now we'll still go by Reload. Our new hashtag will be Project Reload. As well, we will now be focusing on game development, music, video editing, graphics, literally a lot of stuff with development. Myself will be starting college here soon and everything, and then I'll be learning networking and everything. So Reloads definitely have a lot of stuff in plans right now.
No, they do indeed.
Other than that, I mean, for y'all listeners, we hope y'all enjoy this episode. If there is anything y'all like to open suggestions, feel free to join our server, message us on Twitter, Instagram, message our email on the Anchor bio. It's really up to you. And other than that, we will conclude our episode, and we hope to hear from you. Thank you all, and remember, Project Reload.